before we get started, I'm going to check in on Facebook. There, my status is done. I've checked in. Chris, what are you checking in on?
I'm actually using Foursquare to check in.
You're not going to use an Apple product?
Well, Deb, actually, there is a little bit of a hitch there. Apple is talking to Foursquare about potentially bringing its local data, information, and services to Apple Maps as it competes with Google in the map game.
Well, wait a minute, because Apple had Google, then they kicked Google off. Now they've got Google Maps back, so why go after Foursquare?
Last week, when Google Maps came back to the App Store, everyone freaked out and was happy, but Apple really wants to own the customer and the relationship with Maps. By bringing Foursquare to Apple Maps, as it's already partnered with Yelp and OpenTable, Apple wants to own that information and not give it to Google.
Okay, so if Apple's got this Yelp and OpenTable and all this good stuff, Foursquare, where does that leave Facebook? Because Facebook, I just check in and say I'm there.
Well, Facebook announced its own product called Nearby. That competes with companies like Yelp and OpenTable for reviews and searches for local businesses. It's really all about owning the local business search game at this point.
Okay, so they're going after that local advertising dollar. Who's going to win? You've got Apple potentially with Foursquare, Google Maps, and then Facebook's Nearby.
Ultimately, it really does probably look like it's going to be a Google win in the end. Google does search better than anybody, and advertising is Google's bread and butter. It's really probably going to be a Google game in the end.
All right, well, that sounds like I'm going to have to check in on Google Maps. That's Chris Chacha, and I'm Deborah Borchardt for The Street.